And it's gwEm back for another TB303 pedal shootout. So we've got a big stack of pedals here. Let's start by reminding ourselves of the 303's clean sound. Lovely as ever. The first pedal we're going to try is this red one, which is called a crunch box, and it comes from MI Audio. Apparently it's meant to be based on the Marshall Governor, which we tried in an earlier part of the shootout. So let's see how it goes. That's a really good pedal to start off the shootout this week with. I think it probably sounds a bit better than the Governor for the 303. I mean, there's less controls. You just have one tone control. But the gain range has a very good sweep, and it's got a load of level as well. Let's go on to the next one. This pedal is a copy of something called a triple rec by Wampler. It's got a boost mode on it and a little switch here for voicing. So we'll go through it all and see how it ends up sounding. With the voicing switch. And now with the boost. Okay, the boost just increases the volume. It doesn't really affect the distortion. I thought that sounded really good. The boost is a bit unnecessary for the 303 since we're not going to launch into like a big solo or something with it. The EQ options and the gain, by tweaking those, you can get some nice tones. I like the second position on the voicing switch more than the first. It's not bad. The triple rec is a relatively expensive pedal though, and I think for the price of that you can get better options, actually even cheaper than that. So probably not worth seeking one out, but if you do have a triple rec, then give it a go with your 303 or 303 Klon. This one is the Phil Hilborne Fat TB by a Spanish pedal builder called Thundertomate. And actually we've got this pedal is from Thundertomate as well. He's a really good guy. I think he's stopped building pedals though, so you'll have to look out for these on the second-hand market if they sound good and float your boat. Let's give it a go. Probably not the best choice for a 303, to be honest. So the two controls are level, which simply makes it louder. It doesn't really affect the amount of distortion, and cut, which affects the high end and rolls off the treble when you turn it up. It's meant to be based on a Vox top channel cut control. I really like that for guitar, but not for 303. I think there's better options. I mean, it sounds good, but it's not the best option out there, that's for sure. This is the other Thundertomate pedal. It's called a Taxi Driver, and it is based on the Boss OD1, which we tried before. Now, the last time we tried an OD1, the level was quite low and it didn't sound very thick, but let's see how the Thundertomate sounds. It sounds much like the OD1 did. It just doesn't have quite enough level. It kind of is quieter actually than the 303 is when you have the overdrive engaged. And the drive sound is rather thin. But this does sound good for guitar. This one is the MXR Super Badass Distortion. It's got bass, mid, treble EQ, which I like, and it's got an output and distortion control, so let's rip with this. That is a very thick and rather smooth sounding distortion for the 303. It's not to my taste personally, but it is a good option. It definitely has something good about it. It might be right up your street though. This one might be quite quick. It is a Boss SD1, which I have modified to be the same as a Boss OD1. We know OD1s don't really work with the 303, but let's just try it just for completeness. sound better than the other OD ones, the original 70s one and the Thundertomate Taxi Driver, but it's still a poor choice with the 303. This is a Dunlop Fuzz Face with a silicon transistor. I will say no to the Fuzz Face. There must be something interacting between the 303 and this Fuzz Face, because the level is very low, and it sounds kind of crunchy and broken, but not in a cool way, in a kind of a bad way. So we'll leave the Fuzz Face. We do know though that Fuzz Faces do have weird interactions with different guitars, so it's not entirely unexpected. Let's go on to the next. This pedal is the Sansamp Tri-AC, and it's a bit similar to the Sansamp GT2 that we tried in another video. It has bass, middle and treble controls, a toggle switch for different amp types, and a drive button. Similarly to the Sansamp GT2, I don't think this is a good choice for the 303. The distortion is awesome, but I think it's simulating a guitar speaker or something, because the mid-range is more kind of a bit woofy sounding, and I don't think this is a good choice for the 303 as a result of that. This is the DOD Carcosa fuzz, which has some awesome graphics on of a kind of horned creature of some kind with a skull and stuff. It's a fuzz pedal with different controls for high cut, pre and post gain, overall level, and there's this toggle switch as well. I really hope this is going to sound good. It certainly looks fantastic. That's mental. Definitely the most mental pedal that I've tried with the 303, and I haven't yet tried the switch. So that was the Demhe mode, and I will go for the Harley mode now. As you can probably tell by my tweaking, I really like that DOD Carcosa with the knobs and the switch. There's loads and loads of different fuzz sounds you can get out of it. They all sound super edgy, and I think this is one of the best pedals we've tried for the 303 actually. This pedal is the Boss ML2 Metalcore. It's got a rather nice black metallic finish. I like it for guitar. It's a digital distortion pedal, so there's no real analog components in it. I don't know how this will work out, but maybe it will be like the DOD Carcosa and be totally awesome. Yeah, it's alright actually. The EQs are rather peaky, so you get these weird kind of frequency spikes. But when you turn down the distortion, it kind of reduces those, and it sounds a lot better. But it's not ideally suited to use with the 303. Let's put it like that. But it's not bad. Again, it's one of those kind of ones that I wouldn't buy it just to use with your 303. But if you've got one, then you should try it. And this pedal is a copy of the Klon Centaur pedal, which is like a mythical boutique guitar pedal. Very expensive to buy if you want the real deal. So far, what I've noticed is the more subtle guitar-oriented pedals don't always sound the best with the 303. You kind of want a bold sound. And the subtleties kind of get lost. But let's try this one. I'm not sure how good it will really be. Yeah, as expected, that sounded rather tame and not very good with the 303, but it's awesome with the guitar. So let's choose favourites from this session. Well, I think the first one I tried, the MI Audio Crunch Box, was really good. And I know that there are affordable copies of this available, so that could be a good budget option to look for. But clearly, the daddy was the DOD Carcosa fuzz. So many different distortion textures, and they all sounded really good with the 303. I think if you got this, you'd have a lot of mileage, a lot of options with the 303. So that would be my recommendation for this week's.